Good work today, Cameron. Thanks, Steve. You always do such a good job. I wonder why it was such an emergency to get this job done today. I heard that it had to do with something weird going on within the company. There's been a lot of gossip lately. I've been curious about what's really going on. I asked Blake since he seemed to know more than me and he filled me in. What did he tell you? He said that someone in the company used a large sum of money for entertainment purposes. So we have to make up for it by working on extra projects like the one you and I just worked on today. He also refused to reimburse the company. I was also talking with some people in the accounting department, and they said the money taken will start causing issues. Either way, if this continues, then the company will be in trouble. Oh, I see. That makes sense, I guess. That seems like a big problem. Do you know the name of the person who did this? I think I might have an idea, but I'm not sure. I feel awkward calling him out, though. I hear he's one of the major managers. I don't want to somehow draw attention to myself and get in trouble with him. I understand where you're coming from. I get that you don't want to somehow get in trouble with the company due to gossip, especially if you call out the wrong person. They could take offense and consider firing you. Yeah, exactly. I don't want to add to the drama. I also don't want to be a part of it. I was just curious as to what's going on. Then are you okay with me dealing with this for you? You can tell me his name and I'll handle the rest. I'll make sure you stay out of things. I can handle it. So, you're joining in on these meetings? You're that desperate brown-noser, aren't you? What's going on? What do you mean? I see you. I know exactly what you're up to. I'm one of the big names in this company, and now you're just trying to nudge yourself closer to get promoted. You're the one who went out of your way to get me to sign a contract, remember? You want to climb the ranks, don't you? So, you must be John, right? I did in fact offer you a contract. I have a project that I need more employees for. Yeah, what about it? Do you actually think I'd agree to sign it? I don't need some lowlife offering me a contract. If you are a subcontractor trying to strike a business deal, then start acting like a professional. I am one of the leading managers of this company, after all. So, how should I speak to you then? Do other people speak to you in a special way? Do you think you are talking to just anyone? I should teach you a lesson. You work for such a small part of this company. I am the one in charge of everything. I am one of the few major leading managers working directly with the owner. And yet you choose to talk back to me? To think that someone like you could possibly talk back to me without punishment. But all I did was ask you a few questions. Well, whatever. It doesn't matter. Talking to you is just a waste of my time. If you really want to talk, then start preparing a plan for a party. This company needs to have more entertainment for its employees. Everything is always so boring. Entertainment? For what purpose? You want me to sign your contract, right? That's why you are trying to get close to me. If you want your contract signed for your project, then help me plan something entertaining. What do you mean by this? What? Do you not understand what I'm saying? You give me entertainment plans and I'll sign them. It's that simple. Really? You don't plan on reading my contract's contents? You'll just sign? I couldn't care less. All these contracts are the same. After a while, you just don't read them anymore. Anyway, it's settled. Go ahead and contact me anytime if you have questions about how to plan a party or outing. Wait a second. Are you really okay with this business trade? You are really asking me that after everything I just said? I think it's a good business trade. We attended the same meeting about business trades, right? You seem like you didn't learn anything. Yeah, we did. I'm just concerned about how to pay for this entertainment stuff you are asking for. Plus, it seems unnecessary. Don't worry about the cost. Just use the company's money. Geez, you are so stubborn. Just take the deal. If you can't come up with something fun for me to do, then the deal is off. You really just want to mess around, don't you? Let me think about how to handle the situation. I'll get back to you later. I went to a really nice place today. The company ended up paying for everything, of course. Everyone else is stupid to pay using their own money. But thank goodness for the company's money. What are you talking about? I'm talking about how I didn't have to pay the bill for yesterday's outing. I was so surprised when I saw the bill. The place was crazy expensive. There was no way I could afford something like that with my own money. Shouldn't you have paid for yourself? You had fun and didn't pay attention to how much you were spending. If you're choosing to go out to such a place, then take responsibility and use your own money or don't go at all. Why use the company's money? I shouldn't have to pay for anything. This was a little company get-together at a nice restaurant I put together. If I had to pay, I wouldn't go. Since it is business-related, the company has to pay. It doesn't matter if I use the company's money. I work hard and deserve it. Of course you would say that. But if you are making these plans, then you should pay yourself. This is irresponsible. Why should the company have to pay for your enjoyment? The company's money is carefully calculated, and if someone is spending that money without thought, then it will cause major issues. No, I think you are misunderstanding this. What? How so? If I am out with co-workers, then the company should pay for me. I am also a well-respected manager in the company, so I have every right to use the company's money as I please. If I can't use the company's money, then lowest status employees, such as yourself, should pay for me. Why is that? Because you are trash and insignificant to me. That's why. You should be treating me with respect if you ever want to climb the ranks in this company. Ugh, a person like you just would never understand. People like me are high class and live a completely different life from you. My bill was $5,000, by the way. If you don't like me using the company's money, then send me this money and pay for me. You are extremely selfish and irresponsible for doing this. You just want to be spoiled. In the meeting we had, you weren't even paying attention. I kept an eye on you, and even now you were crossing the line. You should be ashamed. I think you should stop while you can. You think I should be ashamed? I know that this company should absolutely be paying for me. You are the one who doesn't get it. I am basically in charge of everything in this company. I can do what I want with the money. I also work hard. What am I possibly doing that's so wrong? So you'll pay for me, right? If you don't, you can kiss your job goodbye. How does that sound? Are you seriously threatening to fire me if I don't pay for you? Finally, you're starting to wise up. Good. That's real good. Extra money for me. So hurry up and send it to me. No. Who the hell do you think you are? What? Now that I think about it, I don't recognize you. I don't see your name in my department for lead management. I've also noticed that you speak too unprofessionally to even be a manager. I am honestly amazed at how rude you are and your behavior up until this point. How dare you speak to me like that? You wanted a business deal with me, remember? Did you forget about it? I won't sign if you speak to me this way. I think you're misunderstanding the situation here. I am no ordinary employee at this company. What? I am part of this company's top management. I am the vice president. Wait, what do you mean? I think you misunderstood what you heard at the meeting. Either that or you just weren't paying attention. But I am the one in charge of you. You are not a high-class employee and you do not work with our top managers. That's why I didn't recognize you. I only work with the president and a few other leading managers from time to time. But you're just an average employee, aren't you? Please, wait a second. You are really the vice president of the company? How do I know you are not faking it? How do you not know who you are messaging right now? You can see my name and profile picture, can't you? Do you not recognize me or my number? I'm Cameron Chavez. Wait. You're Cameron Chavez? You're such a major figure in the company. Famous, actually. You have led so many major projects. That's right. Now that you know who I am, I'm sure you're embarrassed. It took you forever to figure out who you were talking to. You don't seem to have a good work ethic. You don't pay attention and you don't read your contracts. Nothing is looking good for you. Now I also have proof and know everything you've been doing. Hold on a second. This is all just one big misunderstanding. I'm really sorry. I really thought you were just another average employee I was speaking to. I'm so sorry. It is way too late to be apologizing to me now. I am going to look up all your information in the company system to get a clear idea of which department you work for and what you do. I'm sure you are somewhere in accounting, considering you had access to the company's money. That's all for now. This conversation is over. What? What do you mean by that? This is all just a big misunderstanding. I really had no bad intentions. Just please reconsider. I don't get what you're saying. You already told me everything you're doing. You were proudly telling me how much money you spent and how it was the company's money. But it's not what you think. I had no idea who you were. I would never speak that way to the vice president. This wasn't my fault. Then whose fault was it? It's the company policy's fault. What? That doesn't make any sense. My department is really strict. If we act out of line, then we suffer really harsh consequences. That's why I acted out. It's because I'm forced to act so professionally and not make any mistakes all the time. There is no room for fun. When I thought you were just another employee, I wanted to have some fun. I wanted to try and give orders and act like a big manager. I've heard enough. What? I understand that you are sorry about how you acted toward me. But now you are even lying about the company's policy. First, you impersonate a manager. Then you use the company's money for self-entertainment. Last, you talked down to what you thought was another employee, and now you lied about company policy. This is unforgivable. But I wasn't lying. Do you think I wouldn't know my own company's policy as the vice president? I'm going to report you to the president as well. What? You're going to tell him? Yes, that's right. We may need to have a company meeting to talk about work ethic and what happens to people like you. You're going to have to suffer the consequences. Or maybe I can give you a punishment instead. Our company has recently expanded out into some quite rural areas. Should I have you work at one of those branches by yourself until you can pay back all the money you owe the company? I really don't want to have to deal with an idiot like you any longer. I'm sorry. I'm the one who was wrong and made some poor decisions. I'm sorry for all the horrible things I've said and done. Please don't transfer me. I can't live in the countryside. My wife will divorce me. I know I acted out of line. Please just understand that I had no ill intent. I don't understand at all. You clearly had ill intent and tried to threaten me into giving you money. You also took money from the company to the point where it started to affect everyone. You have been doing this for a while. You are being delusional if you think you can get out of something like this just by apologizing. You knew exactly what you were doing. It is sad to think you risked everything, even with a family to support. I'm so sorry. I really am. You spent at least $5,000 of the company's money now, by your own admission. Then you threatened to fire me if I didn't send you that money. Looking over our finances, I'd put your total damage at something closer to $50,000. How many times have you done this? Explain that behavior to me. No, it's not like that. I didn't actually mean it. I might have done it a few times, but I just wanted to sound cool. It's not like I have the power to actually fire anyone. A few times. I'm ashamed I didn't know about this sooner. It doesn't matter what you say. Did you plan to keep speaking that way to employees if this situation didn't happen? Just how long have you been doing this? Good thing I stopped you before things got worse. But I was just messing around. Anyway, I just put an end to this company's suffering. I sent out a company email apologizing and explaining that the person wasting all of our money has been caught. I also blocked your number from calling any department in the company. No one will receive any messages from you either or respond. But why? How did you find out about me anyway? Many people started to complain about someone in the company being irresponsible. This hasn't happened before, so people were surprised. I am extremely angry right now. I can't continue this conversation. I'm so sorry. I'm sending you an invoice for the money you stole. You must pay it all back. It's all your fault that the company is in the position it is financially. All because you wanted to have fun. I will never do such a thing again. Next time, I will apologize to you in person as well. I will never do this again. I promise. Of course you won't, because there won't be a next time for you. I will make sure something like this never happens to the company again, or the next company you work for. What do you mean, next company? You don't actually think I'd allow you to continue working here, do you? It doesn't matter what you say or do. You are absolute trash. Trash? Me? Who else? Even though I have worked for this company for over 6 years, you were going to fire me? I'm not trash. I may have done a few bad things, but in all the 6 years I've been here, I've worked so hard. It doesn't matter how long you have been here or what you've accomplished. Anyone in the company would be fired for doing what you've done, including me. Do you still not understand? I understand that what I did was horrible and wrong, but you didn't have to call me trash. I still worked hard before I did all this. It is your fault for putting yourself in that position. You scared other employees and were irresponsible. You have an extremely poor work ethic as well. You don't read contracts or pay attention to business deals. You don't listen during meetings, and you don't look at who you're messaging. Someone like that should not be working here. Even if you are speaking to another employee, you do not talk down to them or be rude to them, even if you're joking. Considering all this, you seem like trash to me. Is this a formal decision? Am I really fired? I know you are the vice president and that you are extremely angry with me right now, but are you sure you want me gone? You are not acting out of anger, are you? It's true that I am angry right now, but after something you've done, anyone would fire you immediately. I'm really sorry for causing so much trouble, so please wait for a second. It's all my fault. I can't explain to you how sorry I am. You are the one who decided to act this way. You did this to yourself. Deal with it. Please, just give me another chance. I didn't even get a warning or anything. This is the first time I've ever done something like this. This is not preschool. This is a professional company and we don't give warnings for this kind of behavior. You have done too much. Is there really nothing I can do? Please forgive me. I know I really screwed up. I have learned my lesson. I promise I will be a professional employee from now on. I'm so sorry. You can't see me right now, but I'm on my knees begging you right now. I've heard enough from you. Stop begging. I'm too busy to deal with this any longer. Oh, and let's not forget that you're the one who called me trash to begin with. Funny how karma works. Now, make sure you pay back all the money you owe. In the end, John ended up paying back the company all $50,000. He had to take out loans to pay what he owed since he didn't have that kind of money in his bank account. Of course, no reputable bank gave him that loan, so now he has to pay back the money at a high interest rate to some shady characters. He also had to apologize in front of a large crowd of employees, including the president. Many people stepped forward about the threats they'd received from him. He wasn't let off the hook with a simple apology. He had to pay them all back as well. I'm sure John now wishes he never got carried away and took his job more seriously. Later, many people came up to me in private to thank me for taking care of John. They even put together a thank you dinner for me at one of my favorite restaurants. When they offered to pay, I refused and paid for myself out of my own pocket. But I very much appreciated the hospitality everyone showed me. Paying for yourself is the responsible thing to do, after all.
Lisa, when are you gonna be back from that meeting at the school? I've been home from work for an hour and you're still not here? I don't know what to do about dinner either.
It might be a little while longer. I'm in a PTA meeting with the other parents. I made some lasagna and garlic bread. It should be in the fridge, so go ahead and help yourself. If Davy and Maria are already home, feed them too, please.
Only that? You're kidding me. I've already finished the lasagna. Where's the garlic bread?
It's right on the counter. It might be a bit dry, so you should put it in the oven for about 10 minutes to warm it up. Wait, you finished the lasagna. Did the kids have some too?
There was barely enough there for me. This garlic bread looks like a small portion too. Why do you always buy the small size of everything? It's never enough. And you're saying I have to eat it up. This is the last thing I want to do after a busy day at work. Just come home, okay? That meeting's not that important anyway.
I put the lasagna on separate plates and everything. What are Davy and Maria gonna do for dinner tonight? And for your information, this meeting is concerning our children's future. The school is low on funding.
Whatever, just come home and make me something. I can't relax on an empty stomach.
Empty stomach? You ate the whole lasagna. How can you still be hungry? Our kids are not gonna be happy when they find out you did that.
Watch it with the back talking, Lisa. I'm your husband, okay? I go to work and earn money to provide for this family. Just pick up something for them on the way home, some fast food or something, whatever, it doesn't matter. The least you could do is try and prepare a decent meal that's actually filling for once. I'm not gonna let myself starve. As a man, I've gotta eat till I'm full, and that's just the way it has to be.
Polly, I cooked a nutritious meal for our children and you ate all of it. Why do you think it's just okay for our kids to eat fast food? Don't you think they need something healthier?
Wow, you really are persistent, aren't you? There's some salad in the fridge that I haven't touched. They can have that. Besides, my parents raised me on fast food. Almost every night we went to a different place. Fried chicken on Mondays, burgers on Wednesdays, pizzas on Fridays. Kids love that stuff.
That's besides the point. Polly, you need to make something for them. There's some frozen chicken nuggets in the freezer. Do those with the salad and some of those instant mashed potatoes.
Sounds complicated. Anyways, I'm still hungry. Get back here soon, or I'm just gonna go out and get something at a restaurant.
I already told you I might be a while.
Man, what other husband that we know just starves in his own house? All my coworkers are always having steak, mashed potatoes, gravy, the whole nine. At least I would appreciate a decent meal. Not a lot to ask, seeing as I'm the one supplying the funds for all of this. Speaking of, what are you spending all that money on? I get a paycheck each month, but it just disappears.
Our food budget is capped out at $200 a month. Davy is eating a lot these days, seeing as he's on the soccer team. He's a growing boy. Maria never tends to eat a lot, but between you and me, Davy, that much money is really cutting it close. Then, when you add up the rent, utilities, tuition, gas, everything else, there's barely anything left over. I'm doing my best to use what we have to make nutritious food for the kids and for you.
Are you trying to say that I'm not bringing home enough? I almost break my back working that construction job every day.
This isn't anything to joke about, Polly. You need to think realistically about this. I get the picture that you don't really have a grasp of how much things really cost. And to be honest, that construction company you're working for hasn't given you a raise in over a year. What's going on there?
Oh, shut up. I have a perfectly fine idea of how much everything costs. It's my money, for God's sake. Davy's soccer is about $200 a month, right? What do you say we drop that and have more leeway for meals and that?
His soccer costs about $130 a month. Davy loves playing soccer. Don't you see how excited he is to go every Saturday? We can't take that away from him. We gotta make sacrifices in some other areas, like maybe eating a bit less.
Oh my God, woman. Did you not hear what I just said? There's not enough food. And this isn't just tonight. It's been like this for the past few months. No, this whole year. I'm getting tired of this unsatisfied feeling at the end of dinner. The soccer's gotta go. Oh, Maria's ballet too. That's gotta be at least 200.
You're really being unreasonable. Sacrificing our children's passions just to have enough money to buy more food? Your priorities are so out of whack. I can't believe you would even say that.
It's not enough. Your lasagna wasn't even good either. I'd way prefer some chicken wings and nachos. Yeah, that'd hit the spot. There's an envelope with some money in it on the fridge. I'm gonna take this and head out.
Polly, that's the money for Maria's recital. She's gotta give that to her ballet school tomorrow.
Yeah, I might go to that bar in Oak Ridge. Oh, I guess that means I can't take the kids either. Oh no. It probably isn't a great idea to leave the kids alone at home, but what are you gonna do?
What's wrong with you? You've totally lost it.
Watch your mouth. You're the one who's lost it, only making a small portion of dinner every night, making me and the kids starve. Then you head to some pointless meeting instead of taking care of your family. Sometimes I question if you're even a good mother or not.
You take that back. You're being a total, complete jerk.
Yeah, well, I better get going. I might be able to still make happy hour.
Hey, Hazel. How are you doing? Are you at home now by any chance? Oh, hey, Lisa. Not too bad. Some of the part-timers have been filling in for me at the office so I can work from home. It's quite relaxing. Watching Thomas can be a bit of a handful, though. That's good to hear. Actually, I was just calling to see if you could possibly look after Davy and Maria this evening. This evening? What happened? I came all the way out to the school for the PTA meeting, and it's kind of an important one, so I really have to stay. What? So now your kids are alone? Well, Paulie was supposed to be there, but he just went out, saying he was going to head to the bar or something. I'm so sorry to spring this on you so suddenly. He really just left them alone? Are you serious? This isn't the first time he's done that, is it? Anyways, I guess the kids are alone now. I better head over soon. Hazel, thank you so much. I know it's a lot to ask. You are such a lifesaver. That's okay. I should be able to head over in about 10. Thomas will be glad to have some friends to play with too. Really? Oh, that would be a huge help. Thank you so much, Hazel. Have the kids eaten already? Oh, I didn't even tell you. Paulie went ahead and ate the children's dinner that I prepared. I made a big lasagna, but he ate it all himself. That's terrible! Davy and Maria must be so hungry. After I pick them up, do you want to prepare something for them at my place? Could you? That'd be great. I'll definitely pay you back for it later. Anything simple is fine. They love chicken nuggets with ketchup. Yeah, I'll stop by the supermarket on the way back with the kids. Okay, that would be awesome. I'll call them and tell them to wait for you. Okay, I'll try to be over there as quick as I can. All right, thanks so much, Hazel. I shouldn't be too late as long as this meeting doesn't stretch on too long. I'll let you know when it finishes. Hey, that's what neighbors are for. We're all back at my place now. Thomas is showing Davy and Maria his train set. Oh, what a relief. Thank you so much. I'm sorry about all the trouble. No problem. Remember all those times you looked after Thomas when I was going through that situation? How can I forget? You helped me out back then, so anytime you need someone, I've got your back. You're so sweet, Hazel. It's been a while since the whole Jack situation. I'm so happy it's mostly blown over by now. Men, am I right? Yeah, after I found out about Jack's whole cheating escapade, then went through the divorce, I started to appreciate the company of children even more. They're so innocent. Yeah, they can be a lot of work, but I wouldn't trade them for anything. That whole thing was about a year ago now, wasn't it? Yeah, I remember just fighting and arguing every day when it was all going down. Poor Thomas had no idea why his parents weren't getting along. And then one time I talked to you outside my house and I just told you the whole story. You were so supportive and listened to every word. Thank God I talked to you that day. I don't know how I would have gotten through that divorce without your support. You always watched Thomas for me on short notice too. Of course, Hazel. I felt it really was the right thing to do, and I really don't mind looking after Thomas. He's a sweetheart. Well, most of the time. So Lisa, what's going on with Paulie? The thing with the food, it's getting to be a problem, isn't it? Well, kind of, yeah. Compared to before, he's been more dissatisfied with everything I make. I try to make things that he likes, but even those he just complains about. That's not good. He should be more appreciative. Yeah. Oh, I didn't even tell you. So you know how my kids are taking soccer and ballet, right? They love it, especially Davy. He can't get enough of soccer. Yeah, don't tell me. Well, today, Paulie had the idea that we should take the kids out of their clubs to free up extra money for food. No, that's terrible! I know, right? The way he left it on the phone sounded like he actually took the money for Maria's ballet recital to go to the bar. Unreal, right? Lisa! That's really unacceptable! Like, it makes me think maybe you'd be better off without him. I know how it sounds, a recent single mother telling her married friend to get a divorce, but I think those are grounds for one. I've thought about it, honestly, but if I bring about the divorce, I have the feeling he's not going to let it happen smoothly. Why would you think that? He's told me before that if I want to file for a divorce, I should just go ahead and do it, but that he's not going to sign anything. Also, he insists that it's his right to not pay child support if he isn't the one to push for the divorce. What's the backwards logic in that? He says that he knows other men who've done the same thing with no problems. He's actually confident that nothing will change if he just ignores it. Yeah, that's a tough one. But fortunately, you don't actually need him to sign anything. Just lawyer up and push through it. Lawyers can get pretty expensive though, especially good ones. That's the only thing. Yeah, the cost of a lawyer is one thing. The other factor is that I don't have a job. I actually haven't worked for 6 years since Davy was born. I'm not sure if I'll actually be able to jump back into the job market with my current skills. Even though Paulie can be horrible, he does bring income into the household and allows us to live a decent life. Is money quite tight for you guys over there? Yeah, for instance, our food budget for each month is $200. If we spend any more than that, we don't have enough for some of the other bills. It's tight. Really? That tight, huh? One idea is getting a part-time job. That way you can make a bit of your own money and build up some independence. What do you think? The thing is, Paulie doesn't want me to get a part-time job. He thinks I'll be away from the house too much. He's of the mind that a woman should take care of the household. You know, cleaning, cooking, watching the kids. I do everything around here. Well, is there any way you could do it without him finding out? For instance, there's this deli near my work that's actually hiring at the moment. I'm pretty sure you could get short day time shifts. Also, you could take home some food from there as well. It would be a win-win. A deli, eh? That does sound doable, actually.
You're late again. Why do you always come home at a different time every day? I have to watch these kids and have no idea where you are. Don't tell me it's another one of those PTA meetings tonight.
You should know by now. Since I became committee leader of the PTA, I have to take a bigger role in organizing the meetings.
Do you think I really care?
Whenever the teachers call the house, I hear you on the phone with them. You always laugh and pretend like everything is okay.
I just do that to keep up appearances. You know that's not how I really feel. Whatever, I don't want to talk about that. We gotta talk about the dinners you've been making recently.
What's the matter this time?
You've been making some good stuff lately. You know how I like my ribs double glazed with barbecue sauce? Oh, and the potato salad with the bacon and deviled eggs?
I'm just making what I think you'll like, that's all.
That's the way to do it. Today's meal was great, Lisa. Cheesy beef enchiladas with guacamole and salsa. I couldn't help but finish the whole plate.
I'm glad you like them. Did Davy and Maria like them too?
Oh, there wasn't any left for them. I polished off the whole plate of enchiladas and was still hungry, so I went in the fridge and helped myself to some of that cake in the fridge.
What? You ate all the enchiladas. There were like 14 of them. It was supposed to be enough for you, the kids, and me when I got home. And that cake? That was the cake Maria made at school. She was looking forward to eating that.
Yeah, sorry, but it's my money that's paying for all these things, so in my opinion, I should be able to eat whatever I want. I don't know if it was the enchiladas or the cake, but one of them gave me some wicked indigestion. So I'm gonna need you to pick up some stomach medicine, buy that, and get back here quick. I'm really in some pain here.
Polly, this is all your fault. Why didn't you just stop before it got to that point? And you had to eat the cake too? Maria's gonna be so heartbroken when she finds out what you've done. Our kids cannot starve because of you. Get some food ready for them now.
Whatever, I think there's some chips somewhere around here. That'll be fine for the little brats.
I've had it with you.
Huh?
You heard me. I'm done. We're done. I want a divorce.
Okay, because I ate a plate of enchiladas. A bit of an overreaction, don't you think? Oh, maybe you want a divorce because I ate Maria's cake? Oh, I'm so sorry. I ate that barely edible piece of garbage. I wish I hadn't.
This isn't a joke, you idiot. I've had enough. I demand that we get a divorce.
Oh, demand, huh? Wow, the lady knows some big, scary words. You can't intimidate me. You and me both know that you have nowhere to go if we split up. You'd be out on the street. Without me bringing money into the house, there's no family. Everyone would starve.
Kind of like half our family are now? You don't even care about our kids. Every time I make more than enough food and you leave nothing for them. How selfish can you be?
Hey, I said they could have some chips, didn't I?
Stop joking, this is serious. All of my hard work in the kitchen, all my blood, sweat, and tears I put into making meals for our children, a complete waste. Because of you. Because you don't think about our children and their health. You only care about yourself. You're a selfish pig.
Be careful what you say, woman. Complain about one more thing and I might just go and change the locks. This is my house and these are my kids.
Our kids. And what are you talking about? How could you possibly raise our children without me? You don't know the first thing about parenting.
Nah, I'd figure it out. Just turn on the TV, throw some frozen dinners in the microwave, which you've been doing this whole time. See, single fathers get this subsidy from the government, really decent. Even when the parents aren't around, kids do fine. They find their own way. It's more fun for them that way. See, any way you look at it, I'm the one with the power. If you leave, I'll be fine. I'm not so sure how you'd make out, though. Now go pick up that medicine. I'm not gonna waste my precious time talking about pointless things. We're not getting a divorce. Lisa, that medicine you brought last night, it didn't do anything. I'm still feeling weak in the stomach. Knowing you probably bought the cheapest one they had. Come to think of it, I even started feeling some joint pain in my knees since this morning.
Yesterday's medicine. Those were just vitamins. I was thinking to buy over-the-counter medicine, but figured it might be more serious problem, you know? Seeing a doctor might be a good idea, judging as this is not the first time you've had this pain, right?
I'm fine. Why didn't you just pick up the medicine from the drugstore? Are you stupid?
Well, there was something else.
Something else?
Your physical examination results came in. You never check your mail, so I went ahead and opened it.
Hey, you need to ask before doing that. That's private stuff. Anyway, what did it say?
Basically, your numbers were in the red, all across the board. Not good. So bad, in fact, that they ordered you to come in for a follow-up exam.
What? I feel fine. Well, other than this stomach problem.
Didn't you say your knees hurt too? Well, anyways, the doctors wrote a note saying they wanted to run some tests.
Tests? What kind of tests?
It looks like they want to run a diabetes test, check for high cholesterol, gout, etc. Oh, there's something about a blood clot test too. Sounds serious.
So they want to run all these tests. That doesn't mean I have any of those though, does it?
Well, you can only be sure if you go through with the tests, but they're insisting you make radical changes to your diet. I'm surprised they didn't tell you all this.
Well, the doctor did say something at the end of the exam. He mentioned exercise, limiting calories, making smarter food choices. But after the exam, I was feeling fine, so I really didn't see the need to change anything.
If you think about it, the food that you've been eating has been quite high in saturated fat. I never meant to give you that much, but you kept demanding more and more, so I had no choice. Thinking back on the calories that you were taking in each day, I'd say it was around 5,000 or 6,000 a day. Almost 2 or 3 times that of a typical man your age.
What? You're saying I was eating 3 times more than other guys? That can't be true. All my buddies eat around that much too, I swear.
I don't know if you've weighed yourself lately, but from the looks of it, you've put on a good amount of weight in the last 6 months. Also, remember we had to go to the workwear shop and get some new clothes? The old ones wouldn't fit anymore.
Shut up, I haven't gotten that fat. You've put on weight too. The whole family has, even our kids. Look at him.
Stop being delusional. You're the one whose shape has drastically changed. Don't try to change that topic. Anyways, what's important now is going to the doctor and going through with those tests. Then you can start to turn your health around.
If I really do have something like diabetes or high cholesterol, it's all your fault. I'm gonna blame it on you.
Ha! Don't you remember demanding that I cook all that food for you? You especially requested really unhealthy stuff. You wouldn't have eaten anything else.
I asked for that food, but you didn't have to give it to me. You clearly didn't have my best interest at heart, did you? And how could you even afford all that? Wasn't our food budget only $200 a month?
Yeah, well, there's something I haven't told you. I actually started working part-time at a deli in Cobblestone.
Working? Since when?
Probably about 5 or 6 months ago. At the end of each shift, I would always get leftovers to take home. It was all free of charge, of course.
Why didn't you tell me you were working? We talked about this, didn't we?
Honestly, I wanted to get away from you. I needed money to go through with this idea that I had. A plan, per se.
A plan? What kind of plan?
Well, I guess now is as good a time as any to tell you. I'm taking the kids and I'm gonna live with them in an apartment. Without you. I've already moved in. The kids are here too. Oh, and I left the divorce papers on the kitchen table. So when you sign them, we'll be all set to go.
Lisa, you can't just take her kids without my permission. What are you thinking? And divorce papers? Didn't we already discuss this? It isn't gonna happen. And how can you even afford this? You're gonna be broke in a month. Our kids are gonna starve on your part-time salary.
We will be fine. You, Polly, qualify on several counts for being a neglectful parent. I've already spoken with the city worker who gave me the go-ahead to take the kids. They said that leaving the kids in your company would be leaving them in an unsafe and unstable environment. Their words, not mine.
Lisa, you get back here at this moment. I'm just about home. We need to talk.
No, Polly, we're done. There won't be any more discussions apart from the absolutely necessary ones for the divorce.
Why are you doing this to me? Why now?
Oh, you couldn't tell? I was waiting until you were too lethargic and out of shape to try and stop me. Look at you now. You finally hit rock bottom. You gotta turn this around for your own sake.
You're ruthless. I never knew you had this in you. How can you treat me so cruelly?
You should have seen it coming. Oh, I better go. Gotta make dinner for the kids.
Don't go. Let's talk. I can turn this around, I promise.
No thanks. I'm not gonna waste my precious time talking about pointless things. When Polly arrived home that day, the house was totally empty. I'd already taken the kids to the new apartment across town. Luckily, Hazel had helped me set up the new place while I was so busy at work, and thanks to her, the apartment was ready in time to move in. I heard that Polly actually did go back to the doctor for a retest. There, he found out he tested positive for diabetes. Not only that, the doctor said his cholesterol was dangerously high and he'd need to change his lifestyle immediately. After those shocking results, Polly had to drastically alter his diet, shifting to a more nutritious balance of vegetables and limited calories. Though it may have been too little too late as he began suffering chronic pain in his joints, which were made worse by his physical construction job. Due to this, his weekends were never complete without a trip to the hospital for regular testing and physiotherapy. I heard that these days he doesn't meet friends much and lives in deep regret of all the things he lost. I don't know how the world's most antisocial person ever made it into my wedding, but I'm not happy about it. There's not a chance I would want someone like you at my wedding. That's why I went out of my way to help expedite your departure. Do me a favor and leave as soon as possible. That's why you threw wine on me? You wanted me to leave that badly? That's pretty awful of you. What exactly was so awful about what I did? Now you can make your grand exit and go home. If anything, you should be thanking me for helping you get out of a social situation. Show a little gratitude of your benevolent rescuer. You've got to be kidding, right? There's no way you actually think you did me a favor? Why would I thank you for ruining my clothes? You can't stay at the wedding totally soaked in wine. Come on, we both know you hate being around people. Now you can leave and get back to doing whatever a recluse likes to do. I already called you a taxi too. You're welcome. A little wine never hurt anyone. I'll be fine. The staff here got me some towels to help me dry off anyway. And as it turns out, I happen to have something I can change into. Lucky me. Sorry, but I won't be going home today just yet. Are you kidding me? Why exactly do you think I've gone through all the trouble of pretending to fall over myself and make a mess? Just to throw a little wine on you? I don't want you to be here. You should just leave already. There's not a chance I'm leaving. I'm going to change my dress and get back to the venue. Are you really so stubborn that you can't read the room? You haven't changed a bit since high school. You'll always be the pathetic girl with no friends sitting in the corner alone. Why would someone like you be at a big social event anyway? You're totally out of place. You don't have any friends. You don't know anyone. Is it really that much of a mystery? I was invited. Why else would I be here? Caleb invited me to the wedding. How did you not know who was coming to your own event? Did you not discuss anything with him when you planned your wedding? Why would I check every single name on the list one by one? I don't have that kind of time. We invited a ton of people. So of course I was shocked when I saw you here. The goblin from high school came out of her cave and is around other people. It's unbelievable. I changed my name after getting married. You wouldn't have known it was me by just looking at the list anyway. Wow, maybe you changed a bit since high school after all. That's a really good joke. I almost can't believe you of all people got married. And before me? I'm sure whatever cave creature you decided to marry is just as boring and socially inept as you are. There you go again, judging everyone left and right. You don't know the first thing about me or my husband. If anyone hasn't changed, it's you. You're exactly the same as you've always been. I bet you didn't even have a wedding ceremony to avoid having to see other people. It must have been a real challenge to make anyone fall for you. How hard was it to make yourself the slightest bit appealing to another human being? Almost as difficult as trying to make yourself presentable for today. I'm so sorry I ruined that with my little spill. You must have tried so hard. It turned out to be all for nothing. Your empty apology is totally heartless. You don't think what you did was wrong? Not even a little bit? Do you not have any guilt? I don't. Not even a little bit. In fact, I think you've done something far worse than I have in just showing up to my wedding. It should be illegal for someone so ugly to come to the wedding of such a beautiful couple. You are totally out of place here, and that's why you should be leaving right about now. Unfortunately for you, it isn't going to work like that. You keep telling me to leave and think it's as simple as that? What exactly do you plan on telling Caleb when he was the one that invited me? I think there'll be a much bigger impact than you think if I were to just leave. You're so full of it. Don't make me laugh. You actually think anyone would care if you left? You are so delusional. No one would even notice if you left right now. I'm sure you're just another one of many obligatory invitations that went out to coworkers and acquaintances in order to make our wedding that much bigger. What is the matter if one less insignificant person stays for the rest of the day? Are you really so sure about that? I've never been more sure about anything in my life. Get going already. You keep acting all tough, but I know you're crying all over your phone right now. I'm tired of telling you, so get out already. Well, if you're so sure, then I suppose I will then. Don't waste any more time, ha ha.
Carly, are you alright? I was just talking with the staff who were helping out. They said they were able to get you a change of clothes. They're bringing them to you right now. They'll meet you in the waiting room in just a second.
I'm sorry, Caleb. I don't mean to trouble them, but can you tell them that it's alright? I don't need the clothes. I'm on my way home, so they don't need to worry about it.
What? Why are you going home already? What's wrong? You aren't feeling sick, are you? Let me call you a taxi to take you to urgent care.
No, I'm totally okay. Don't worry about me. I'm not sick or anything. I'm just heading home is all.
You aren't sick, but it's only 5. Is it because you're angry about what happened? I hope you aren't too upset about it. I'd really appreciate if you could stay, though. My wedding wouldn't be the same without my sister here. Please don't worry about the dress. I can take care of it. I'll make sure that Addison apologizes again, too.
I'm not angry at all, I promise. I really do want to see the whole thing to the end. I was really looking forward to today and being here for you.
I don't understand. If that's the case, then why are you saying that you need to go home?
Because your fiancé is asking that I leave.
She what? Addison asked you to leave.
Yes, she asked that I go home. Actually, her and I were in the same graduating class in high school. We also have a lot of the same classes in school.
Really? I can't believe I never realized that.
We never got along, though. Well, maybe that's an understatement. I should say that she hated me. She said she wasn't comfortable with me being at the wedding, so I'm leaving as she asked.
I had no idea the two of you knew each other that long, let alone had a history. I'm so sorry, Carly. I really didn't know.
No, I should be the one apologizing. It's my fault this happened. I wasn't able to take any time to meet with you and her family. Then it would have been easier to explain. If you'd known sooner, maybe all of this wouldn't have happened today. I'm sorry for causing you all this trouble. Please don't worry about me, though. I'll be totally fine. You should enjoy your special day. I want you to have fun. What is this all about? Why didn't I ever hear about you being Caleb's sister? Oh, someone else already told you about that. Yes, him and I are siblings. I'm sure that's surprising to you. I thought you were an only child. You shouldn't have any siblings. How does that make any sense? Yes, I was an only child in high school, but around the time we graduated high school, my mother got remarried. The man she married was Caleb's father. What? Actually, our parents had known one another since middle school. That's around the time Caleb and I first met. Caleb and I have always been really close. It's almost like we've always been siblings. But my mother wanted to focus on her career at the time, and she was determined to get herself back on her feet before getting married again. Eventually, around the time we graduated high school, she was in a much better situation than before and happy with her career. So, like she promised, they'd finally gotten married. You can't be serious. Is it really that hard to believe? I'm sure Caleb has mentioned to you before that he isn't related to his sister by blood. I'm sure I remember him mentioning that. He was explaining the situation to you before. Of course he told me about it before. I know all about his father getting remarried and having a step-sibling, but only that he has a sister that travels frequently. How was I supposed to know that it was you, though? I never would have imagined it would be you of all people. You don't have to imagine it. It's reality. Yes, it's the quiet girl you always made fun of in high school. But then that means that if I get married, That you'll become my sister-in-law? Yes, that is what that means. I'm going to be your new older sister. How could this happen? I was more popular than you. I was in a higher social circle. How could someone like you become my older sister? It's quite a complicated set of circumstances, isn't it? I suppose life works in mysterious ways. Nothing you can do at this point. Right. Sure. You're right. Nothing I can do. Gotcha. Well then. If that's how things are then, I suppose we'll just have to make it look like we get along then. So you better hurry up and get back to the wedding. Huh? Go back? Don't play dumb. Just forget that I ever told you to leave. Don't tell Caleb or anyone about this, all right? We don't need any more drama today. So in other words, you just want me to go back just to protect your own appearance, is that right? You want to be at the wedding, don't you? You want to support your brother, don't you? Well then, hurry up already and stop shuffling your feet. If you know what's best for yourself, you listen to what I tell you to do.
You can forget about it. I'm calling off our wedding.
What are you talking about? What do you mean our wedding? Wait, Caleb, is that you?
Yes, of course it is. Addison, I'm calling off the wedding. I think I'll be reconsidering the whole marriage thing for the time being.
What are you saying? Wait just a minute. What do you mean you're calling off the wedding? Why are you using Corley's phone?
Is there something wrong with helping my sister after she was drenched in wine? You told Carly to leave. I'm taking responsibility for the situation and helping my sister get home. And in between all of this mess today, I can very well see that you've done some soul searching.
Now, you wait just a second. I didn't intentionally spill wine on her. You were right with me when it happened. You saw everything, didn't you? You know that I fell down. And I would never tell Carly to leave. Why would I say such an awful thing?
You can stop with the blatant lies. I know very well what happened. I've looked at all the messages you sent my sister today.
I can explain.
You don't need to explain anything, Addison. I don't want to hear any more from you. I don't want to marry a girl that bullied my sister into not wanting to come to school. I can't tell you how disappointed I am in you, Addison.
Excuse me?
Carly told me that the two of you didn't get along back in school, but I know there was far more to it than that. I have your other classmates to thank for that. You treated her so horribly that she stopped going to school.
You're blaming that on me. That's not what happened, Caleb. You have it all wrong. I would never do anything like that to someone.
I realize I don't have the best memory, but now it's all coming back to me. You'd say horrible things about single parents. I remember secretly looking through Carly's diary back when we were all in school. Now all of the things she'd written down about not wanting to go to school make sense. You were who she was writing about. You were the reason she didn't want to go to school and talk to anyone. How could you do that to someone?
But you've got it all wrong.
People even messed with me for only having one parent back then. I know what it's like to be treated the way she was, but maybe not to the extent that you put her through. I can't marry someone who would do that to another person, especially not someone who's so unapologetic for it to this day.
Just let me explain, please. Don't say things like that, Caleb. Sure, Carly and I had a little bit of a history from when we were in school, but that was a long time ago. And we aren't just talking about the past right now. I think you're making a huge mistake. You don't need to call off the wedding.
Where exactly is the mistake in my logic? Because to me it seems clear as day what needs to be done here.
I was young. I'm not the same person anymore. Maybe I was a little mean to some of the people I wasn't close friends with, but that's not who I am today. I'm not just a kid in high school anymore. I'm an adult. I don't have the same opinions as any awful stereotypes anymore. I'm sure Carly and I will be great friends.
I wouldn't ask that of my sister. She shouldn't have to endure putting up with someone like you anymore. I don't want anything to do with you, Addison. After today, I don't ever want to see you again, got it?
You don't really mean that, do you?
Someday when I make my own family, I want it to be a kind, respectable one. And I want to have a lot of children one day, too. I've told you before many times, haven't I?
Yes, of course. I want the same thing that you do. We can have that, Caleb. We can have as many children as we want. And we can make a wonderful family together.
I don't think we can, though. I don't think someone who can unapologetically hurt another person is qualified to be a mother.
But that's not who I am.
But that is who you are, and I will not start a family with someone like that. It's over, Addison. The marriage is off.
Don't do this, Caleb.
It's a good thing we decided to do the wedding before we went and signed any papers. I'll be sure to explain the situation to everyone after I get back from taking my sister home. You should reflect on all of this while you're waiting.
Why did you do this to me? This is all your fault, everything. The wedding is over because of you. You've ruined everything. I'll never forgive you for this. I don't need your forgiveness. I didn't do anything to you. You got what you deserved. Caleb gave up on you because of what you did and continue to do. Don't try to turn this on me. This is all because of you, you miserable dork. All the shame and humiliation you've brought on me is because of what you did. What relation would me being a dork have to this situation exactly? You did this to yourself, your behavior. Own up to your actions. It doesn't matter how you look at this. This is on you. If you're so angry about this, you should think hard about it because right now your anger is misplaced. Who exactly should be reflecting about all of this? Because it's of no consequence to me anymore. I don't care about the wedding being canceled or any of this. I don't care about any of it anymore. Wow, you're very strong. I'm not missing out on anything. It's Caleb's loss, not mine. I'll meet someone else in no time and I'll be totally fine. He's easily replaceable, unlike me. A woman like me can choose from anyone I want. I already have people lined up begging to be with me. Already? Is it really that easy for you? Of course it is. I already have 3 people lined up that I've been seeing and keeping in touch with. James and Lucas are both working well-paying jobs. Not that you'd remember them. And Liam's parents have their own company that they run. It won't be difficult to marry any one of them and I'll be set for life. Like I said, it doesn't matter if Caleb doesn't want me anymore. It's no skin off my nose. I see. It was nice of you to tell me yourself about all the cheating while you were engaged. I'll make sure to fill my brother in on the details so he can file a lawsuit. I hope you'll make whatever preparations you need to pay. What are you talking about? What lawsuit? I'm grateful you were so willing to openly admit to cheating. It'll build the perfect case when they admit to it as well. I can't wait to see this play out to the end. Will you stop rambling about nonsense? You don't even know what you're talking about. The wedding was canceled. It's over between Caleb and I. We aren't getting married. It doesn't matter what you tell him because we aren't a thing anymore. It's meaningless. Well, not as meaningless as you think. Sure, you aren't getting married as of yesterday, but you cheated during your engagement, and that means a case can be made. There's no way. That can't be real. Oh, it is. And it looks like there's going to be a lot of evidence. I'll be collecting all of this to make things easier for Caleb. What evidence are you talking about? I think I just might have found your secret Instagram account. You sure left a post on this one. It looks like I found some of your extra boyfriends on here too. This'll make things a lot easier for me. What are you looking through? What account did you find? I totally forgot to mention what I do for a living. I work at an agency for private investigators. I take a lot of pride in my work. I have to say, I've gotten very good at it.
Tell me you're joking.
It's a very reputable agency. I'm sure you've heard about it before. I always do my best for our clients. We have to make sure to uphold our reputation. That's why I'm always traveling so much. It's essential for my job, especially for things like making sure people are out on a business trip like they say they are. We get a lot of requests for cases like that.
You're really not joking. Caleb never mentioned that his sister worked a job like that.
Of course I'm not joking. My husband is a lawyer too. It's been beneficial to both of our careers to be able to work together in a lot of cases.
A lawyer? You're married to a lawyer. How can someone as boring and ugly as you manage that?
Caleb introduced us to one another. Anyway, I expect you'll be hearing from my husband soon on Caleb's behalf.
You're unbelievable. You're both cowards if you think you can hide behind a lawyer.
Got a quick question for you. One of the people you were cheating with is married, right? Does that mean that the both of you were seeing each other, despite the fact that you were engaged and he's already married?
What? Seeing someone already married? Even I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't want to deal with any of the trouble of seeing someone who's already married.
I guess that means that they were lying to you then. I'm looking into all the people you mentioned earlier. It wasn't hard to find the one. He looks very happy in all of his pictures. He has a lovely family. Did he ever mention them to you?
You're lying. That's impossible. There's no way any of them were married. No one would ever lie to me.
It seems this rabbit hole is deeper than I thought. But I'll make sure to figure out the full extent of the situation. I'm gonna make sure you never forget what I'm capable of. Not long after, I was able to collect information on all the people that Addison had been seeing while she was with my brother. With all of that in hand, Caleb was able to build his case against Addison. On top of expenses to cover the canceled wedding, it came out to a little less than $70,000. Addison tried her best to cling to all of the extra ties due to the large amount she would need to pay. Unfortunately for her, all of them were either married or already dating someone else. They all quickly realized that their involvement with her was no longer worth the effort. All of them cut contact with her, and she resorted to begging to her parents to help her cover everything. However, she somehow managed to pull enough together to pay it all. In order to pay back the money that she borrowed, she's supposedly taken up additional work in her off time. Naturally, as a result of her prideful personality, she isn't making as much as she's originally thought.
Sandhurst, I heard you got called into the department head again today. What was that all about?
I went in to discuss some of the points on that new contract that we're putting together.
New contract? Which one are you talking about?
The one that I put together yesterday? Some new details were sent in by the client yesterday, so I summarized them and sent them on up to the top for review. After that, he praised me for my speed and how easy it was to incorporate the ideas into the project.
I see how it is.
What do you mean by that, sir?
This is just another example of you showing off for others to see.
I'm not sure I understand what you're saying.
You act like the perfect employee where your superiors can see, but I know how you really are.
What are you talking about?
You're just scum that chases the praises of others and kisses up to their betters for preferential treatment. But I know how useless and stupid you really are.
I'm sorry if I made you angry in some way, but I have no idea what you're saying.
You do all your work half-heartedly, but when the higher-ups throw you a bone, you jump on it like a Hollywood gold digger and push your luck for promotion. That's the only reason you're acting like you're a hard worker now, isn't it?
No, sir, you've got it all wrong. That's just a misunderstanding on your part. But isn't seeking a promotion what all employees are naturally inclined to pursue? That's why we work hard to earn accolades and get our work noticed by those around us. So I don't feel that there is a problem when we get praised for doing a job well.
It's that kind of uppity attitude that pisses me off.
Sorry.
Also, that you think an unfeeling apology like that is enough to placate me? Now that you've got some head pats from someone above me, you don't feel the need to show me any more respect, do you? As long as you can wag your tail for the department head, no one else really matters to you.
No, I'm shocked that you would think I would act in such a way. I am seriously working hard to make myself better.
Oh yeah, by bagging one huge contract after another, overachieving on your quota, and breaking every record our section has set? Never once has it crossed your mind to allow your manager, me, to save face? This is the problem with you millennials. You only think about yourselves and never about how your actions affect those around you.
Work to save your face? I'm not sure how I would go about doing that. Clients and contracts made with said clients are individual accomplishments made by each member of the team. In the end, it makes our department look good and brings profits to the company, so everyone, including the shareholders, is happy. So I don't see what the problem is. So depending on how you look at it, my work is benefiting you as well.
Quit it with the commie propaganda. I don't give two winks about who benefits from whatever. If I can't show results, I won't be able to work my way up the ladder. I've had my eyes on the department head's job for years, and some uppity rookie breezes in one day and is already in his good graces. You're probably bad-mouthing me to him, aren't you?
I would never do that. It's not part of who I am to bring down others to make myself look good. If I have time to backstab someone, I would rather spend that time working.
Your hypocrisy also pisses me off to no ends. So you're saying that I don't get work done because I spend all my time trying to drag others down? I have trouble getting big contracts because I act sleazy and give off creep vibes? You're saying that I only got my position because I padded my resume with made-up feats so I could jump the queue? I can't find a girlfriend because I come on too strong and make them feel uncomfortable with my narcissistic behavior? Is that what you're saying about me to the department head?
What in God's green earth are you saying? I have never said any of that. Have I said any of that? No. My goodness, those are some serious claims. And that last one seems a little too personal, so I will pretend that I never saw that. Look, you are the only one who's saying things like that, so I don't know how to react to it.
What? Now you're saying that it's all my fault that my life is a mess? How dare you talk to your manager in such a disrespectful manner? Can you not hear the disrespect in your own voice?
Sorry, I may have said too much. I have no intention of disrespecting you in any way, shape, or form. I also have no reason to disobey you or go behind your back as well. I just want us to be able to work together and get good results.
I'll make you pay for making me look bad in front of everyone. You'll regret the day you decided to double-cross me.
Please, listen to me. I'm telling you that nothing has been said about you in any negative manner.
I hear you spoke with the department head again today. Now that you're his loyal pet, you want to lord it over all of us peasants now, don't you?
Again, what is with this hostility? I have done nothing of the sort. There was just something very important that happened recently, and I wanted to get some advice from him.
Yeah, whatever. The way you think you're cleverly sneaking how close you are to him in conversation makes me cringe. You do understand that my position is higher than yours, don't you?
I'm sorry if I'm incorrect, but are you on edge because you are jealous of what I've done?
Me? Jealous of you? Absurd. Why would any supervisor be jealous of their underlings? What? Would me feeling jealous make you feel better about all the brown-nosing you're doing? Like I'd give you the satisfaction of that.
Sorry, I didn't mean to touch a nerve with that. It's just what I felt from your words.
You think I would feel even an ounce of envy for some NPC employee that luckily landed a huge contract that got everyone slapping him on the back for?
Yo, about that contract, there are some issues about transferring the account over to another agent that I wanted to talk to you about.
Seriously? Now you want me to owe you a favor by taking over one of your contracts? You really are something else, aren't you? Just want to rub a little more salt and lemon juice in the wound, don't you?
No, it's nothing like that. There are just some things that I wanted to talk to you about.
Look here, you silver spoon millennial. I've been giving you the benefit of the doubt up until now, but you've overstayed your welcome. I'm about to show you how things are really done around here. So get ready for some off-the-books training and learn where your place is in this company.
Please, listen. This is important. You've got it all wrong. Let me explain what's going to happen. Are you reading my messages to you?
Oh, you're in for it now.
What are you talking about?
With this, even you don't have a way out. You may be the department head's favorite little pet, but not even he will be able to cover your butt now.
Look, I still have no idea what you're talking about here. Can you please elaborate of this mistake you're going on about?
You made a misorder that will cost the company $500,000. You've really done it now.
Misorder?
Today, an order was placed under your name that looks like the unit code was off by a few zeros. This account is also non-refundable, so there is no way to cancel it. I finally have proof that you are a useless lummox.
That would be impossible. Wait, is this you trying to trap me in some amateurish plot to besmirch my name?
What? Me trying to make you look bad? I don't know what you're talking about. You asked me as a personal favor to make the order, so I did as you asked and put in your name. Don't you remember asking me to do that because you were too busy yourself?
There is no way I would ask you to do a personal favor for me. Isn't a $500,000 misorder pretty serious?
With this, you'll definitely get fired, and I'll be done with you and your irritating face. Your luck ran out the moment you decided to go against me. Let this be a lesson to you in respecting your betters.
Since there is no way I would ask you to make such a foolish order, and you're basically admitting in writing that you are trying to entrap me in a very serious crime.
And even if you try to turn me in, no one will believe you because the order was made in your name. There is no way you can blame any of it on me. If you really want to know the truth, then I will tell you because you're gonna get the axe no matter what.
Yes, please go into your villain speech so I have more evidence against you.
It was I who placed the misorder in your name. This is what you get for pretending to be a capable employee and making me look bad. Now you're gonna lose your job because of me.
I don't know how to tell you this, but I resigned 3 days ago, so I'm not sure what this does for your plans.
How can that be? I never heard anything about that.
I know that you're doing your happy dance at the moment and gloating like a butterfly, but since I've already left the company, I guess you've already won, so you should be happy. But how are you gonna explain away that misorder? You made the order today, right? So I don't see how I could have asked you to make that order if I am no longer at the company. Won't it look a little strange when accounting sees that order?
What are you talking about? Resignation? When? How?
That's what I was talking to the department head about for the past few weeks. I was trying to get your opinion on the issue, but you kept blowing me off with excuses, so I had to go around you. So I took my questions to the department head directly and got his feedback.
Wait, did you really resign 3 days ago?
Yep, exactly 3 days. You were on a business trip, the day of my actual resignation, but there was a company mail sent out that details the reason for me leaving. Did you not read it? Well, you never did read those. That's why you missed some important bulletins that gave everyone who read them some good points in making sales and closing deals.
What are you thinking? How dare you resign without my permission?
I don't see how I need your permission to resign my position, as it's a personal decision. And on top of that, you never let me get a word in edgeways when I needed to talk to you. I was most busy with transferring my contracts over to the other agents, so that took the most time. The department head and I wanted to give you the last big contract I got because you have the highest authority on our team, but you never gave me the time of day, so I transferred it to Alice and the client seems really happy with her.
What? Are you serious? That contract would have been mine?
Yeah, well, if you have lent me your ear, it would have been. So the commission from that contract went to Alice instead of you. I guess it's good experience for her, and that fat bonus really inspired her to level up her sales skills. I hear that she's making really good contracts at the moment. In a way, your pettiness has led to growth in your team, so you can be proud of that if you want.
You arrogant ninny hammer. You should have given that contract to me. That bonus commission should be mine. You should have tried harder to talk to me if it was that important.
Whenever I tried to talk to you at the office, you pretended I wasn't there and made up some excuse to leave. I was busy as well, so I couldn't spend all my time waiting around for you to change your mood. Check your chat log for me too. You ignored me on there as well.
So that's what you were messaging me about. I thought you just wanted to rub your success in my face again, so I ignored them. If it was that important, go out of your way to make it more clear. You didn't try hard enough. That's why I didn't get that bonus.
Well, what's done is done. I've transferred all my responsibilities as prescribed by company policy, and it was all overseen and signed off on by the department head, so I am in the clear. Too bad the same can't be said for you. Please leave me out of your petty schemes for revenge and have a nice life cleaning up after yourself.
You can't just resign like that. Have you no common sense?
This is coming from someone who wanted to get me fired by placing the blame for a misorder on me, Rich. Despite your constant harassment and childish antics, I did what I could to give you my biggest contracts as a final show of gratitude. Maybe you should try to listen more carefully to your underlings instead of letting your pride get in the way. What a sorry little man.
How is this happening?
So you can see there's no way to convince others that I put in that order. It's just a matter of time before they figure out that you try to frame someone for a misorder.
Are you serious?
All that just to try and fire someone who no longer works at the company. Well, there's a good chance that someone is gonna get fired for that.
Who? Wait, me? Impossible. They wouldn't do that to me, would they? Just for a little joke like that? Did you really resign? Or are you just kidding with me?
Wow, looks like someone is in a panic. Isn't it obvious that it's all gonna come back to you? You do understand that, don't you? That company is not so forgiving that they'll pass over a $500,000 misorder.
Oh my goodness, $500,000. How am I gonna get out of this?
It's non-reversible, right? Just as you planned, right? Imagine if you have to cover the damages yourself. Mistaken misorders might be reversed with a cancellation fee, but if they find out you did it all to spite one of your underlings, that could lead to some actual legal action. Don't you think that you should do something about that?
Are you telling me that this is all my responsibility?
Whose else would it be? You set it into motion yourself. Where else could responsibility for this lie?
I only did it because you pissed me off. So you need to cancel the order.
No, you can't involve me in your stupidity. Get your act together and take responsibility for your actions. Don't try to pass your problems on to others, especially if you're the one who started it. It's like cutting your finger with a knife when chopping onions and blaming the onions for the blood everywhere.
It's nothing like that. This truly is your fault that things turned out like this. So you need to help me fix this problem.
Are you stupid? I have nothing to do with this. There is nothing I can do, and there's nothing I want to do to help you. I'm sure the IT department can figure out where that order came from and when. Even if you used my name to make the order, it still has to be signed off on by my immediate superior, which is you. So the responsibility still lies with you.
I didn't think that far ahead. What should I do? What should I do if I get into trouble for this? What if they blame me for the misorder and I have to take responsibility for this mess?
This is your problem. This is your responsibility.
Help me. You're a capable worker, right? So help me out of this.
More capable than you at least, but it's too late to ask for my help. I no longer work at that company and I'm busy at my new job, so best of luck.
New job? Already? I just thought you resigned.
That I did. The top company in our industry saw my stats and made me an offer.
You got headhunted?
Yep, and with a much higher salary and better benefits.
Why do people appreciate your work and not mine? That's not fair. I wanted to get into that company too, but I never got a call back.
Obviously, because evaluations are always based on the skill of the one being evaluated.
You ungrateful swine.
Just think about it. You've been sailing through life really easy up until now without doing any real work of your own. Then, when a capable worker shows you what can be achieved with some hard work, instead of learning from it, your first reaction is to try and drag them down? If that's the way you think, then you need to leave the business sector and get involved in politics where that behavior is rewarded. You should have used the time spent planning your stupid revenge plot on bettering your skills and becoming a useful asset to the company. But anyone who can't think of that on their own will never truly succeed and leave behind something worth remembering.
I can't believe the amount of disrespect flowing out of you right now, but I'll overlook this once. Now get back here and help me deal with this at once. You owe me this much, seeing as I took care of you all this time as your superior.
Maybe in a parallel universe you were a sagely supervisor that everyone could look up to, but I have no memory of you ever helping me out. All I remember is you griping about how you could never close a big deal and how you wanted to steal the department head's job by trying to frame him for corruption.
I never said that. Well, sometimes, but it was all in good humor. I'm sure I helped you sometimes, right? I'll be in serious trouble if this doesn't get cleared up soon.
Nope.
Why not, you selfish brat? Have you no gratitude for the company that took you in as a rookie? I'm giving you a chance to pay off a debt of gratitude.
I am grateful to the company, but none of that extends to you. This is a fitting end to a foolish boss who let their jealousy cloud their decisions and is going to pay the price for it. It's too late for regrets. Suck it up and face it like an adult.
So after it came to light that Cargill assumed Sandhurst's name to make a $500,000 order without knowing that Sandhurst had already resigned from the company, he was immediately put on administrative leave without pay while investigators got to the bottom of his poor attempt at revenge. Then he was terminated when it was found out that he purposely waited until after the order cancellation period had passed and cost the company a hefty cancellation fee. Not only did Cargill lose his job, he's now awaiting trial for identity theft and got his wages garnished until he pays back the substantial fee he caused the company to pay for his crime. So, in addition to being a criminal, Cargill is now broke, jobless, and a falling spiral of blame and self-loathing. On the other hand, Sandhurst continued working hard at his new company and entered the fast track for elite promotions. So let this be a lesson to all y'all out there. Don't be petty, and getting revenge could backfire and get you in more trouble than you could hope for. Thank you for watching to the end. If this video made you feel just desserts were served, please leave a like. Everyone else, leave a comment. And as always, please subscribe.